Saturday the 13th of July. It's just past 6 p.m. and welcome to our news programme. And this week I have the right date on the bottom of the screen, just to double check that before we start this evening. And in the news this week, the Environment Agency has this week opened a final consultation into the application for a permit to operate a new waste incinerator at Portland. Following earlier consultations, the agency has now reached the stage where they are likely to grant the permit, having received all of the necessary information from Powerful Portland Limited. The company has applied for a permit for a facility in the Port of Portland. This does not mean a final decision has been taken, only that a permit will be granted unless new information is received that gives cause for not allowing it. The consultation gives you the opportunity to put forward any new information. Now, issues that will be considered include relevant environmental regulatory requirements and technical standards, information on local pollution and sensitive sites, comments on whether the right process is being used for the activity, for example whether the technology is the right one, pollution control, the impact of noise and odour from traffic on site, and any permit conditions that may be needed. The Environment Agency does not look at issues around vehicle movements to and from the site, working hours, and whether or not the site is suitable for this kind of work. All of these matters are dealt with through the planning process. Now, if you want to make comments about the application, you need to do it by midnight on Sunday the 11th of August. That's midnight by Sunday the 11th of August. And the easiest way is by email to PSC Public Response. That's PSC Public Response at environment-agency.gov.uk. As part of an effort to reduce costs and improve access, the NHS in Dorset is asking people to buy everyday over-the-counter medicine directly from their pharmacy or supermarket rather than getting it on a prescription. The NHS in Dorset is also asking your GP to stop prescribing medicines for 35 minor conditions and advise people if treatment for their condition is available over the counter. It is estimated that this could save the local healthcare system around £1 million this year alone, whilst at the same time potentially freeing up 40,000 hours in general practice and pharmacies, enabling more appointments for local people. There are key benefits to buying over the counter. One is that over-the-counter medications often cost considerably less than they would do if purchased through a prescription. Convenience, often no appointments needed. You simply walk into your pharmacy, discuss your needs and can make a purchase. There are lots of pharmacies throughout Dorset, and obviously there are several in the local community here. Peter Cope, who's head of medicines optimisation with NHS Dorset, said, as the local healthcare system continues to face enormous pressure, we need to be sure we are getting the best value for money we spend, whilst at the same time exploring every opportunity to improve access to services. Nationally, doctors have been asked to stop prescribing certain medicines which could be bought over the counter, saving money on the product itself and on the time involved in raising the prescription. A good example of this is indigestion remedies, which in the last financial year cost the NHS nearly £250,000. Buying over-the-counter medicines can help us save an estimated £1 million a year in Dorset, money that could be better spent helping people get access to the care they require. Weymouth residents are to be asked their views on cemeteries and plans to revamp Littlemore Skate Park following a meeting of the Environment and Services Committee on Wednesday the 10th of July. Like many other councils, Weymouth Town Council has a living cemeteries policy. This means that there are designated areas in each of the 3 cemeteries the council run which are left to grow, only being cut once or twice a year. The aim is to provide more natural areas in the cemeteries to support pollinators such as bees and butterflies, in line with guidance from Dorset Wildlife Trust. Following recent feedback around grass cutting in cemeteries the council is responsible for maintaining, members of the committee voted in favour of running a consultation to gain further feedback from residents on this issue. Council has also voted to consult the public on revamping the Littlemore Skate Park after discussion on options for costings was brought before the committee to consider. Both consultations will be launched in the coming weeks, and the Town Council will publicise more details on how people can have their say. In a roundup of other decisions made by the committee, councillors voted in favour of replacing 10 water filling taps along the seafront with new ones, and a request will go to the council's Finance and Governance Committee to consider additional funding to replace a further 3 taps. A new event called Weymouth Waterfest will take place in the autumn. Weymouth Town Council is working with local groups, including sea swimming organisations, to put on the event near the pavilion end of the beach. The aim is to encourage residents to be more confident with swimming in the sea, try other activities such as kayaking and paddleboarding, and discover how these activities can help boost mental health, and more details will be released soon. Short stay parking permits can now be used in most Dorset Council car parks for up to 3 hours each day, increasing from the previous 2-hour limit. The extra hour has been added to give residents more time to get things done and offer more value for money. An annual permit offers savings for regular users, and the extended time removes some of the worry when attending appointments or completing errands. At £90 a year for the short stay permit, one weekly 3-hour stay averages just £1.73 per visit over the 52 weeks. This means more time for regular visits to the surgery, to browse the shops, or check in on a family member. For those parking 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, the permit reduces cost to just 35 pence per 3-hour stay. Whether it's for the daily dog walk or taking the kids to their after-school activities, you could save hundreds of pounds compared to paying for each visit. The short stay car park permit allows a single parking session of up to 3 hours every day in most Dorset Council car parks. Now there are a few exceptions, such as the Pavilion car park and the Pavilion forecourt, so just do check those exceptions if you have one of these permits. 2 vehicles to be registered per permit, so you can register both your cars if you've got 2 cars, but obviously only 1 car can be used at a time. Once the 3-hour stay has been used in a day, the permit will not be valid again until the following day. A paper parking permit is available for people without access to a smartphone or other online services, and you can phone 01305 221 000. That's 01305 221 000 for more details. Now, almost 1,500 people enjoyed live music for some of the UK's leading tribute acts in Dorchester over the weekend. That's last weekend, at Weldmar Hospice Care's final Music by the Lake event. The 3-day festival at Dorchester Showground fell victim to the weather on Friday, with driving rain forcing the cancellation of the first show, which was due to feature tributes to Robbie Williams, Pink and the Spice Girls. Despite that disappointment, the remainder of the weekend was held a huge success by revellers, with ABBA, Madonna and Duran Duran tributes performing at a lively show on Saturday evening. Diana Ross, Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder acts wrapped up the festival at a more relaxed Sunday afternoon show. It was announced in May that this would be the last Music by the Lake due to the significant time and cost to put the event on in an increasing competitive live events market. However, those attending were overwhelmingly positive with the event. Weldmar's Chief Operating Officer Matt Smith extended thanks to the many volunteers who helped to marshal the car parks and arena and check guests in at the gate, among other duties. There was also an acknowledgement to the Mayo family who own the site for being so accommodating since Weldmar moved Music by the Lake to its new home in 2022, and to Hustings Electrical, who have provided free electricity for the event during that time. Music by the Lake was originally planned as a one-off event at Kingston Moorwood in 2019 to mark Weldmar's 25th anniversary, but its success led to a decision to make it an annual event until the decision to bring it to an end this year, where Weldmar celebrates its 30th birthday. Excuse me. On Saturday the 29th of June, that was last Saturday, Chesil Youth Pride took place. Sorry, that was 2 Saturdays ago, I think, wasn't it? Hosted by Dorset Council and Weymouth College, and in partnership with Space Use Product, The Drop in Portland, Dorset Music Hub and Dorset Police. The fun-filled event was held at Weymouth College and was a celebration of diversity and a show of support for Weymouth and Portland's LGBTQ+ young people. The theme this year, chosen by the young people in the local LGBTQ+ community, was intersectionality, with the tagline "See Me." Cheswell Youth Pride, now in its second year, responds to the feedback Dorset Council received from LGBTQ+ young people in the Cheswell locality, and the need to provide a safe space to celebrate their identity and who they are. Cheswell Youth Pride kicked off with a mix of stalls, music, fun, pride-based activities, food, face painting and creative activities for young people and children to get involved in. Around 250 young people, their allies, friends and families and members of the local community attended the event before taking part in a celebratory parade along Weymouth Esplanade. This week's appeal from Dorset Police now. Detectives investigating an aggravated burglary at an address in Weymouth are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward. It was reported that around 10:50 a.m. on Friday the 5th of July, two men gained entry to a property in Viscount Road, and one of the men was in possession of a long screwdriver. An altercation ensued between one of the men and the occupant of the house, a teenage girl, and her phone was taken. The men also left the property with cash. Fortunately, the victim did not sustain any injuries. Detective Constable Mayor Isabella Bowditch of Dorset County CID said, "This was an extremely distressing experience for the young victim residing at the property, and we are conducting a number of inquiries to identify those involved. I would urge anyone who is witness to any suspicious activity in Viscount Road, Lanehouse Rocks Road and the surrounding area at the time of the incident to please come forward. I would also ask residents with home CCTV or doorbell cameras, as well as motorists with dash cams who were in the area, to please check their footage for anything that might assist their inquiries." And as usual, you can contact Dorset Police about this or any other incident that you might wish to pass information on by calling 101. And if you wish to give information anonymously, you can do this through the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111 to give your information via Crime Stoppers. Now, businesses across the county are being urged to sign up to Dorset's Licensing, Security and Vulnerability Initiative, or SAVI for short, which has been set up to help licensed premises provide a safe and more secure environment for managers, staff, customers and local communities. Developed by the Home Office and backed by the National Police Chiefs Council, the scheme ensures licensed premises are aware of and meet the safety and security standards required by local authority and police licensing teams. Available as an online self-assessment, it covers effective management practices and operational security, including things like safeguarding vulnerable customers, preventing violent behaviour, responsible drinking, preventing opportunist theft, preventing drug misuse, improving physical security such as emergency exits, lighting and CCTV. Research by YouGov of more than 5,000 adults aged between 18 and 45 found out that 79% of adults agreed that recent publicity about the safety of women and girls has made it more important for licensed premises to improve their safety procedures, and 39% of adults felt they would be more likely to visit a bar or pub or nightclub if they felt safer, and 32% of adults would be more likely to visit a bar or pub or nightclub if it had a police safety award. The initiative, which was launched at an event in Weymouth last month, is part of the Safer Street Fund, for which Dorset received £784,055 from the Home Office for projects focusing on tackling crime in rural communities and the safety of women and girls. Now, Poundbury Gardens in Poundbury, Dorchester, has won Garden Centre of the Year at the Midlands, Wales and West Garden Centre Association's awards. Coming first place in the local garden centre category for the Wales and West region, the Garden Centre, which is part of the Gardens Group, was commended for its environmental and sustainability credentials, as well as creating a welcome and enjoyable shopping experience for customers. The Houseplants department at Poundbury Gardens was also recognised, as it took first place for the Ian Boardman Award for Best Indoor Plants Retailer in the Local Garden Centre category, while its giftware section scooped second place in the Indoor Lifestyle Award for Best Indoor Lifestyles Retailer, as well as the GIMA Award for Best Garden Products Retailer. Lots of awards there around there for Poundbury Gardens. It looks like they swept the board with that competition, doesn't it? John Nash, who's manager of Poundbury Gardens, explains, "This is a fantastic achievement for our garden centre and is a testament to the team's skill, enthusiasm and hard work across all departments, working in a sustainable way and engaging with the local community at the heart of everything we do at Poundbury Gardens and across the Gardens Group. So to be recognised on a regional level is truly special." Over the course of 12 weeks, GCA judge Colin Farquhar made a number of unannounced visits to garden centres across the Midlands, Wales and West before the final awards were announced at a presentation held at the Melbix Garden Centre in Birmingham on Tuesday the 9th of July. This was the first year that the awards covered the Midlands, Wales and West, and the first time the awards were split into 3 categories of local garden centre and destination garden centre. So well done to Poundbury Gardens. Now, a new coffee shop is to open soon, close to the National Sailing Academy in Portland on the Ham Beach Road. The new Starbucks branch will have a drive-through and is expected to be busy with beach users, sailors and those visiting the businesses on the Ham Beach and Osprey Key business units. Staying with Portland, the car park at Newground, adjacent to the Portland Heights Hotel, which is popular with locals and those wanting to look back at the views towards Chesil Beach and towards Weymouth, Lulworth and beyond, is to be closed for safety inspections and maintenance. It is expected that the car park will be closed this coming Monday, July the 15th, for 1 week, but this does depend on what is found during the safety inspections, and if further works are identified, it may be closed for slightly longer. And finally, in the headlines tonight, summer firework displays are to return in July and August to Weymouth. Weymouth Town Council will host 5 spectacular firework displays on Weymouth seafront, with the first one being on Monday the 29th of July and then on every Monday in August, that's the 5th, 12th, 19th and 26th. The displays will start at 9:30 p.m. and as the fireworks will be fired from a boat moored in Weymouth Bay, spectacular views will be available along the length of the whole seafront. Mayor of Weymouth, Councillor John Orell, said the fireworks on Weymouth seafront always create a fantastic atmosphere throughout the town for residents and visitors. It's great for the local economy and I'm excited to welcome everyone into Weymouth to witness these firework displays on July the 29th and every Monday night in August. The summer firework displays will be provided by Cyrotechnics again. To find out the latest information about the fireworks, pop along to the Weymouth Town Council website. Where possible, people are encouraged to leave their cars at home and walk or use public transport when getting to and from the displays. And that's the end of our headlines this evening. Next this evening, Great Western Railway passengers across Somerset, Wiltshire and Dorset can now travel back in time as part of an archive film project by the Windrose Rural Media Trust. It's been inspired by an old film called Great Western Approaches, a renowned film made in 1936 and still available, which took viewers on a journey to the sun. Windrose director Trevor Bailey said, "Long ago the Great Western Railway saw the potential of film to promote its trains and the places they served. It has an extraordinary heritage and the modern GWR is proud to link past glories with today's progress. Windrose has footage ranging from 1909 to the 1990s to craft short films relevant to 24 stations across 7 routes. Now, the 7 routes that they're going to cover this footage on is Westbury to Salisbury, Westbury to Weymouth, Westbury to Bath, Westbury to Swindon, Westbury to Bedwin, Westbury to Taunton and Taunton to Bristol. Let's have a little look at their trailer film now to get an idea of what they've been up to.
Long ago, the Great Western Railway saw the potential of film to promote its trains and the places that they served. One of its renowned films, made in 1936 and still available, was Great Western Approaches, which took viewers on a journey to the sun. The Great Western Railway has an extraordinary heritage, and the modern GWR is proud to link past glories with today's progress. Windrose Rural Media Trust is a charity which has long used the media, television, radio and the internet to portray the past of rural communities in the southwest and to give them a voice in the present day. Windrose has created a massive film archive of life in Dorset, Somerset and Wiltshire, dating from the 1910s onwards. Drawing upon that archive, Windrose is providing a companion for your journey, a window into the past of the places served by stations on 7 GWR routes. These moving images are the nearest thing to living history that exists. You can select the route and station of your choice and find yourself in the past life of that community. It may be a livestock market in the 1930s, street scenes in the 1910s, a long closed railway line, seaside holidays in the 1950s, and much, much more. Be our guest. Explore.
There we go. That looks really interesting. Now, the way this is going to work is that each film explores local life as it used to be, allowing customers to travel into the past via a QR code that will be linked on posters displayed at stations. And the idea is while you're at the station waiting for your train, you can scan that QR code on your mobile phone and you can watch the video on your mobile phone while you wait. Of course, if you want to learn more about the Windrose Rural Media Trust, you can have a search for their website or their YouTube channel, and you can see a lot more information about what they do and some of the videos they have produced. Now, it's a Dorset-based charity which uses the media, television, radio and the internet to portray the past of rural communities in the southwest and to give them a voice in the present day. Trevor Bailey says, "We have a massive film archive of life in Somerset, Dorset and Wiltshire which has largely been digitised, and we've drawn on this to provide a companion for people on their train journeys, a window into the past of the places served by stations on 7 GWR routes. By scanning a QR code, viewers can select the route and station of their choice and find themselves in the past life of that community. It may be a livestock market in the 1930s, daily street scenes of the 1910s, a long closed railway line, seaside holidays in the 1950s, and much, much more." So look out for those QR codes. Now it's time in this week's programme for our film review and preview with Andrew Wright.
Welcome to White Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, Despicable Me 4 releases in UK cinemas after having been released last week in the US, so there will be spoilers online. The film is a sequel to 2017's Despicable Me 3 and stars Steve Carell as Gru, a former supervillain who is forced to go into witness protection with his family when an old rival seeks revenge against him. The film also stars Kristen Wiig as Gru's wife Lucy, Pierre Coffin as the ever-lovable Minions, because who doesn't love the Minions, and Will Ferrell as the film's villain. Because the film's already been released in the US, it's already been a box office success over there, and there's a lot of critic reviews out, and the UK reviews are just starting to come out. It's very 50-50. The critic reviews are very 50-50, which is usual for an animated kids film, which is, just meant to be fun and, just fun for the kids, fun for the whole family. So that's very usual, because critics don't know how to have fun. Looks at me. So I would take those critic reviews as a grain of salt, with a grain of salt. Go watch the film yourself and then make your own judgment. I will be reviewing the film on next week's segment, because I'm seeing it. I record on Friday, so I'm seeing it on the Saturday. I'm seeing it tomorrow, Saturday, so stay tuned for next week. And Minions 3 has been announced for 2027, so that'll be another fun one as well. This week, the new action film Monkey Man was released on home video. The film is an action film starring Dev Patel, with the film being his directorial debut. The film revolves around Patel's character Kid, that's his name, well, we assume that's his name, Kid, who is traumatized from his childhood when he starts working through his way through a criminal organisation in Mumbai to start to search for the person who killed his mother and destroyed his village in India. So it's very much like a John Wick style. The film proved to be a surprise hit with critics and audiences and made its money back on the box office. This was the first time I watched the film. I was actually really looking forward to it because, you know, it's sort of like it's like a different twist on John Wick. It's just basically like that's what I understood it to be, like Indian John Wick. I actually was a bit disappointed. I thought Dev Patel was great as the lead actor, given a great performance, and he shows talent as a filmmaker, but the film's trying too hard to be smart and complicated and cultural, when all it really needed to be was just sort of like 10 minutes of character intercut into 90 minutes of just violence. So I gave the film 3 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be reviewing Despicable Me 4. I'm actually looking forward to that. I've been warned that it should not be on my... You know, someone sternly warned me, don't let it be your best film of the year. So, but I'm actually looking forward to it, and I'll also be reviewing next week the home video release of Civil War, the new American Civil War drama film starring Kirsten Dunst. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew. We will be back with Andrew next week to see what he makes of those films. It's now time for our weekend weather forecast from the Met Office. This week we are joined by Jonathan Vaultry.
Hello there, good afternoon. It is a rather mixed picture in terms of our weather this weekend. Disappointing for some of us. A few glimmers of brightness in there, particularly further towards the west where we have this area of high pressure keeping things a touch more settled. But for those in the east, it is this area of low pressure in the North Sea that is driving things and providing more unsettled conditions. Copious amounts of clouds swirling around the area of low pressure with outbreaks of rain and drizzle in there. Dull, damp and dreary for a good portion of the UK throughout all of Saturday, unfortunately. But you do have that brightness further towards the west. We could see some showers developing, particularly Northern Ireland, parts of Wales, southwestern areas of England as well. Some of those on the sharp side, maybe even the odd rumble of thunder in there. But in those sunnier spots, might just creep to 19, 20 degrees Celsius, but very disappointing. Those temperatures underneath the cloud, 13, 14 degrees Celsius is well below where we'd normally expect to be for the middle part of July. Obviously feeling cool because of that cloud and the rain, but also the quite brisk wind flow that is circling around that area of low pressure coming in directly from the North Sea. It is going to make it feel even colder if you are exposed to that brisk wind that is coming in. Winds just slightly lighter further towards the west, and also central areas will help with the feel of things a touch more. The rain will actually turn heavier as we head into this evening and overnight, particularly for the likes of the Scottish borders, down into Northumberland, parts of North East Yorkshire as well. Do take care here if you are travelling in that. Elsewhere, it's a drier night, particularly for southern areas of England and Wales. We'll start to see the cloud breaking up a touch more. Some clear skies here, the odd mist and fog patch possible, but temperatures dropping down into single figures for some of our rural sites underneath those clearer skies. But most of our towns and cities, particularly underneath the cloud, will be more in double-digit marks, so quite a mild start to Sunday morning. The best of the brightness, though, will be across southern areas of Wales and England. Not too bad of a start to the day here, really. And if you are heading out first thing, it should be quite a nice start. The cloud bubbling up a little later on. A few brighter spells still possible for Northern Ireland and actually central Scotland into parts of Argyll and Bute and the Southern Highlands as well, faring reasonably well with some sunshine. But the cloud and rain is going to be persistent for southern Scotland into northern England throughout Sunday as well, unfortunately. It will turn lighter, so a bit patchier as we head into the afternoon, but temperatures still very disappointing. Just slightly up compared to today, but only around 15, 16 degrees Celsius. In those sunnier spots, parts of central Scotland, across the far south as well, 20 to 23 degrees Celsius will make it feel that bit warmer and a bit more pleasant here. Rain continuing to ease off as we head into the evening and overnight period. So hopefully it might begin to stop just as we kick off for the Euros Grand Final and any outdoor viewing parties there, hopefully turning dry for a good portion of the UK, and conditions looking reasonably fine in Berlin as well, with a mixture of sunny spells and temperatures even around 20 degrees Celsius there. But for here in the UK, we'll keep you up to date as we head into the new working week. So make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you again here very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Sir Jonathan, for this week's weekend weather forecast. And looking at our weather locally, we can see that it's going to be a bit warmer in the week. Not much chance of rain, a bit sort of humid and thundery, but hopefully some sunny spells, but not too hot, hopefully. But just wash out for those thunderstorms that we might possibly have. Yes, just take care if you're going out. Now it's time for the What's On this week, and first of all, starting with Weymouth Pavilion. 14th of July, the Beach Boys Tribute Show. 25th of July, the Magic of Motown. 27th of July, comedian Sarah Millican. 3rd of August, comedian Jimmy Carr. 8th of August, comedian Joe Pasquale. 10th of August, the Shawaddy Waddy 50th Anniversary Tour. And 17th of August, the Bowie Experience. More details on these shows and other shows at the Pavilion on weymouthpavilion.com, or by calling the box office on 01305 783 225. Turning to the Knowth Fort, Victorian Weekend 20th and 21st of July. 3rd of August, Songs in the Summer with Wessex Musical Theatre. 15th of August, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And 29th of September, Pause for Fort. More details on those and other things at the Knowth Fort on knowthfort.org.uk. Now, ArtsReach have published their Creative Summer Children's Activities programmes, and one of the things that is coming up is Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. They say join us at the Pilgrims Inn in a merry company as a merry company rests on their journey to St Edward's Shrine in Shaftesbury, entertaining with tales of murder, miracles, music and mayhem. Take a mischievous peek into the life 1,000 years ago. The Shaftesbury Tales troupe is walking from Corfe Castle to Shaftesbury, stopping to perform interactive family shows along the way. Selected from a writing competition, stories by local people are woven through the central tale of Edward the Martyr, the teenage king who suffered a terrible fate, what happened when, who saw what, who lived to tell the tale and who didn't. Every show is different, with its own unique cast and tells. Alongside Treehouse Theatre, the Child Oakford show features Remix, the Originals Theatre Group, and participants from an earlier workshop. At Springhead, Sturminster Newton Amateur Dramatic Society and children from Fontwell Magna will take part. And there's an indoor show on the 20th of July at Child Oakford, and there's an outdoor show on Monday the 22nd of July. And now, to find out more about that and other performances throughout Dorset, pop onto the ArtsReach website at artsreach.co.uk. There are lots of bits for families and children over July and August with ArtsReach, and it might make a nice day out to get in the car or jump on the train or get on the bus and to travel to one of these things across Dorset, which are provided all over the place. Just a reminder that Abbotsbury and Portersham are celebrating their millennium. Still lots of things going on there. Look on their specific website, map24.org, map24.org, to get details of what's happening to celebrate their millennium. We've got the week of events, talks and trips coming up to celebrate the life of Thomas Hardy with the Thomas Hardy Conference 2024. That will run from the 27th of July to the 3rd of August. Look at the Thomas Hardy Society website for more information. So just search for Thomas Hardy Society on Google for information on that. Next Saturday, the Church Ale event will be at All Saints Church here in White Regis, and that will run from 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. There'll be a Teddy Zip Wire, there'll be a bar, there will be tower tours and all sorts of things going on, a band playing and what have you. Now, just a reminder that the tower tours are next Saturday. There is a date in August and a date in September. You can book to go up the tower and hear a little bit of history about the church and get up to see the fantastic view from the top of the tower. Has to be booked in advance online. You do need to be fit, free of heart problems, etc., because it is quite a climb up the narrow staircase and you need to be fit to do that. To book those, the website is www.parishofwhiteregis.org.uk/events. There will be an outdoor performance of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet at Pennsylvania Castle Estate on the 23rd of July, so have a search online for Pennsylvania Castle Estate for more details on that. Also to say that the Compton Abbas Air Show, the Aero Legends Golden Age of Aviation, is on the 10th and 11th of August. Aero Legends is a leading name in vintage aviation, proudly announces the launch of the Golden Age of Aviation Air Show at Guy Ritchie's Compton Abbas Airfield. The extraordinary event is set to take place on the 10th and 11th of August, promising a weekend filled with thrilling aerial displays, vintage aircraft and celebration of aviation history. Now there's more information on a specific website, ComptonAbbasAirshow.co, ComptonAbbasAirshow.co, and they've got lots of vintage planes planned for that weekend. I had a look at that website earlier today. Now, coming up tomorrow, church services in White Regis, communion at All Saints White Regis at 8 a.m. and again at 9:30 a.m, which is a special Sea Sunday service, so celebrating and remembering all those that go out on the sea in ships. 11 o'clock Sunday service at St Edmund's Church, Lane House. Other programmes from us, tonight we do have our quiz as usual at 7:30 on this channel. Do join us, the stream will go live at 7:20, it's free, it's community and family friendly, and anybody is welcome to join us. And also tomorrow at 4 o'clock we have the July edition of A Year Gardening with Clive Gray, our gardening programme that we put out each month, and that will be repeated on Friday at 7 p.m. So that's 4 p.m. tomorrow and Friday at 7 p.m. for A Year Gardening with Clive Gray. Now that brings us to the end of this week's news programme on Saturday the 13th of July with the right date on the bottom of the screen for a change. I hope you have a lovely weekend and a good week ahead, as we now are fully into the summer and all the young people will be having their last week at school this week, and then we'll be into the school summer holidays. If you've got any events or news that you wish to share with us, as ever, please do ping us an email at news@whiteregis.tv, news@whiteregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. Until next week, have a good week. We will be back with you Saturday 6 o'clock next week. Good night.